6%.
All right, now let's talk matters rice and the status quo of rice in Kenya. Talking about data, it's quite interesting because when you look at rice, input bill actually, it stands at, and this is not actually input bill per se, but it's in terms of quantity. How much rice do we import as a country, or our consumption as a country, that is, not even importation, it's just consumption of our country. We consume over 1 million metric tons of rice a year, okay? That is the one thing. But our production is at 230 metric tons. Remember, we are eating 1 million and we are consuming 230,000, which means there is a gap right there, or we call it a deficit, of 770,000 metric tons. This is quite huge. Essentially, the production in the country is not able to feed us. We have to fill this deficit. Now, how much does the deficit bill come? Essentially, we have to import this rice. In 2023, that's the latest data we have in regards to rice importation. We imported rice worth 54.7 billion shillings. And that was equivalent to 937 and 98 metric tons of rice in the country. So that is the situation, that we are spending 54, close to 55 billion shillings importing rice. Can we produce more and keep this money for our farmers here? That is one of the arguments that we will be having. But secondly, talking about farmers, I'd like us to go to this site. This site is the Foreign Agricultural Service U.S. Department for Agriculture, and they have properly mapped out how rice production is held and how it performs in this country. Let's take a look at the map here, okay? We have key players. The biggest production is coming from Tana River, 28%. We also have quite high, a very small area, quite high at 44%. We also have the western part of the country, Kisumu, Nyanza region, 12%. We have Busia, 5%, and Vihiga, 3%. I'm also liking this side because they're giving us Kenya's rice yield moving forward. And the projection is that our yield keeps on growing. But the question is it growing fast enough? And that brings us to our discussion today in regards to rice production in this particular country. If we may just go back to that phase. I'm joined by a wonderful gentleman who's from Kilimo Trust. And sir, thank you very much. Anthony Mugambi is the Kenya team leader.